And yes, we are live. Yes. I wasn't going to come live today because I was going to say that our last session had happened over last week, but this will be our last session for the year. So it means that after today, we're going to see you in January 2025. All right. But of course, this is for the public view. In the yard, we're still doing our 12 days of Christmas and we are rolling. You're going to hear my voice every day, of course, as usual. But today we're talking about the parenting in 2025. New tools, new challenges, and the power of community. That's what we are actually doing today. And one of the things that is very profound and very interesting about this conversation is that parenting in 2025 is being fundamentally reshaped by the integration of advanced tools. There's going to be rise of new challenges. There's going to be increasing emphasis on community support. So if you're going to be getting into 2025 and you do not have community support, you on your own. Because these are research proven. It's not just what coach is saying, right? It is the research, the things that that it's already been there and it's been all pulled out there and focused on. My name is Wendy Ologe and I'm called Africa's #1 parent coach. And yes, I am effortlessly your #1 parent coach. Scratch Africa. All right, my mom is here. Hello, mom. It's so good to have you. Compliments of the season. If you can see me, you can hear me. Let me see you right in the comment section. And today I'm going to be sharing with you how these factors will affect your parenting. How are these factors, going to affect your parenting? Because it is one thing to just say, oh, we're getting into a new year. I'm a parent coach. One of the things that I always say is that in this new year, right? One of the things that is going to happen is what are the challenges? All right. Where are the challenges? And is the challenges that we're actually talking about. So I would look at the challenges that's going to come into the new year. While we're all raving about, the new year, the new year will bring us new grace, new this, new that, and it is going to be very interesting to note that beyond the new year bringing all about the things that you want it to actually bring about, is that it's going to come with its own set of challenges. Every year, there's this kind of aggressive involvement that is happening. The question will be, are we really prepared for it? That's a question that I'm asking you today. Are we really prepared, all right, for the 2025 that we all want to step in, especially as parents, all right? In 2025, parenting is not going to be about raising your children. It's going to be about managing the algorithms that will shape their reality. That's the truth. So you're not going to just be focused on, I have children, I'm parenting them, I'm doing. You are going to now be, very much involved in how you manage the algorithms and how the algorithm will shape their reality. The truth is, if AI knows more than you about your child, are you still the parent? These are the questions that you want to begin to ask yourself. All right. In the past, we once feared strangers are influencing our children. Now, the fear is that, they fear strangers, right? Their children will now become online. Let me say that again. In the past, we once feared strangers influencing our children. Right now, the fear is that our children are now going to become strangers online. People we don't know. People we don't even know who they are. The future is community parenting. Somebody help me put that in the comment section. But the problem is, what happens when the village that is raising the child has no value of his own? That's actually the real deal. That's actually the real conversation today. The future is community parenting. That's the future. And when I talk about community parenting, I'm not talking about your village, no, it's beyond that. The future is community parenting. That's the future. But the question will be, that community that your child, that community parenting that you're going, what is the value? What is the value of that community? That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. Because right now, we're going to get to a point where apps will become family therapists, who will then teach our children what love really feels like. Because there's going to be a lot of, digitalization. It's already coming up. There's a lot of AI in, if there's anything like that. So community parenting is the future, right? However, what happens when the village raises children when that village actually do not have the value that they need to give to the children? So it's important that we begin to look beyond the new year. As we're getting into the new year, we should be more concerned. I particularly think that parents should be more concerned for 2025 more than ever. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, there's going to be enhancing efficiency, but rising ethical dilemmas. And because there's going to be rising ethical dilemmas, what is going to be the impact on parenting? Parents will have access to tools that make life easier. So it's going to become more AI-powered devices, wearable tech for safety, advanced educational platforms. We should be concerned about all of this. Now, these tools will help you monitor, educate, engage, and all of that. But now, there's going to be an over-reliance on technology. That is going to lead to loss of critical parenting skills. It's going to get to privacy concerns. It's going to get to lack of emotional connection. It's already happening. Small, slowly but surely, but we are losing the emotional connectivity that we should actually have out there. But because we're not really paying attention to it, we're paying attention to the pros. Don't get me wrong. There are pros to, having AI around. But if we're not able to sit down to look at what AI can actually do and the consequences on the parenting that we have today, then we'll leave everything to chance. We'll leave everything to chance. That's it. And Tetima said, soft life that leads to tough life at the end. So we're having so much softness, right? And we're having children who can no longer think critically. New challenge. There's going to be a whole lot of navigating digital overexposure and mental health issues. So there's this pervasive influence of technology, and it's going to continue to expose children to issues like screen addiction. It's going to get worse. I remember that 7 years ago, I raised the concern on a stepping into the new year such as this, where I actually raised the concern. I said that this screen time is going to become a challenge in years to come. We're going to have more children coming down with autism. People, looked at it and said, what are you talking about? Prophet of doom kind of thing. Today, we have more children with autism. So what we are doing is not stopping screen or stopping AI. No, it's bringing into your consciousness. There's a concern. There's a concern. Bringing into your consciousness. And it is not an African thing or an American thing. Currently, I have access to white American clients. It is same thing, same struggle. We have access to we have Indians in the yard right now. Same struggle, same challenge. We have British, same struggle, same challenge. So there's this, there's going to be a lot more cyberbullying. There's going to be a lot more misinformation. You will need to be able to balance the benefit of tech with its risk. There's going to be increased focus on emotional intelligence because you don't have a choice. In fact, I say today that if you're parenting and you're not immersing yourself into emotional intelligence, you are in big trouble. Because there's going to be issues with coping strategies, both for you and your children. Parents will need to begin to educate themselves more. Digital literacy. If you do not take digital literacy as a core in 2025, you will fail in parenting no matter how skilled you are. It doesn't even matter what you have learned before. Digital literacy, and I'm talking about digital literacy in the area of parenting that concerns your child. And I'm talking about, look at AI. A lot of us are still in the space where we are forming ignorance about, you don't know what AI is talking about. We don't know what it is that you're thinking. No, it is there there. It is there. The conversation is not how you are going to remove it from your child's life. The conversation is how you are actually going to look at it and ask yourself questions, core questions, because parenting in the digital age is not about limiting screen only, because that's what we think. It's about teaching your children to master the screens before the screen master them. Let me say that again. Parenting in the digital age isn't just about limiting screens. It's about teaching your children to master screen and yourself before the screen will master them. Because what we have in today is that we're having a lot of children not being able to master the screen. You know, one of the things I said 5 years ago, prediction, I said that focus will become a huge challenge, that attention will become gold. Today we're here. And it was in a new year like this that I predicted it. In the coming year, I said in the coming year, focus will be an issue. If we can't tell 1,000 people in a year, 500, no, scratch that. 700 of them come in with focus issues. They come in with focus issues. See, when we're doing these predictions, we're doing it based on things that are so valid. That are so valid that it's going to surface. It's going to surface. You know, I see a lot of us saying, this discipline thing, what do we do? You begin reward. I see a lot of us reward our children with apps, with games for doing chores. Are you teaching responsibility or dependency on constant validation? When you reward your children with apps and games for doing chores, are you teaching responsibility or dependency on constant validation? You know, right now, AI has become the storyteller for our children at bedtime. Are we losing the magic of a parent's voice? These are attending issues. These are real issues. These are real issues. So, of course, we have smart homes now. We have, everything smarted. But the problem is, yes, smart homes might end up raising smart, in quote, children, but are they also not raising disconnected families? You know that all the while we've been talking about parents teaching children how to actually learn life skills in 2025. It's going to be about teaching them to unlearn the noise of tech. To unlearn the noise. That's one of the major things that this coming year is going to be about. I hope you're paying attention. I hope we're paying attention to the things that I'm saying. The next one is the power of community, collective wisdom. If you have listened to me, I have said over and again that collective intelligence is the key thing that we're all pursuing in the last times in 2025. Parenting communities, both online and offline, is going to play a critical role in being able to actually say whether you will survive or not. It's going to be able to say whether you will survive or not. Because co-parenting, shared resources will become more structured and more accessible. That's what we've been able to build in the Intentional Parent Academy. We've been building the inner cycle system for 5 whole years. We're not stupid. We knew that a time will come where the power of community will be a determining factor to what it is that happens on your parenting journey. A huge determining factor. Community parenting is the future. And that's why we're not just raising a community, we're creating a community of people with value so that when we offer it, it becomes wholesome. Most of the communities you see around are just community, bunch of people just coming together. It's beyond that. We're talking about a structured system. That's what we're talking about. Because collaborative parenting, where structure resources will become more structured and more accessible. People are going to get more confused with the AI tools and everything around, because there's going to be a lot of resources out there. You go and there's a lot of information. And the more information, the more confusion. That's the truth. So if you do not have the ability to actually be able to find that structure, you will drown even amidst a lot of information. So it's not about having information. It's not about having access to AI. It's beyond that. And I realized that I've been talking about the power of community, for the past 5 years. In 2025, it's going to come full blown, it's going to come, takes full yard. The result is going to be in our fleshes. We can hold it. We can hold it, literally. When I said it 5 years ago, it looked like, oh, you just want people to just be in your community. That's not just about. No, now it's going to be seen live. Just like I remember when I got the book, Screen Time Addiction. How much is too much? I started screaming about screen time. What we're doing to the brains of our children. What is happening? Children on social media. Are we going to have this thing structured? What are we doing? A lot of people said, oh, you are mad. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But today it has come full yard. We're now seeing screen autism. And I was screaming those days. I said, I think when the time comes, you're going to pay people like us because we've been positioned to actually solve these problems. It's happening today. To book a one-on-one session with me is 200K. I'm constantly booked. Constantly booked. Right now, I have sessions that I had to put on hold until January. So the problems are going to be there. And when we come in 2025, when the issues of community is going to go full length, it will come with its own attending issues. We will be here to solve it anyway. Too much information everywhere, but too much confusion. Haven't you noticed that we are in the era of knowledge, yet we are in the era where people are most confused ever in their lives? What do you think is happening? There is a gap. There is a gap. So there's a cultural shift. Communities will redefine parenting norms. So it's no longer going to be my culture said. Like in the yard, in the inner circle, we have redefined what parenting is. It's no longer normalized nonsense. We have moved from in my culture. We're now doing, prioritization. We're now doing, a whole lot of, creating the norm that should actually suit where we are today. So we can't even overemphasize the importance of community. Parenting will be so tough for you if you're not in a community by next year. And I mean it with all sense of responsibility. Find yourself in a system. Like, find yourself in a system. So that you don't get confused. Go to AI. There are a lot of tools now, right? Where you just put, how will I get my child not to beat my child? You put it. But it's bigger than that. Because you are even going to be more confused than you could ever think. There's going to be greater personalization in parenting approaches. Tools like, things that we're using, more individualized focused. Because child development has changed. There's a lot of alteration in development that we need to pay attention to. It's no longer do what works for you. Do the way. There is something that you must be able to actually put through, decipher for your own, family. And that's why in the inner circle, one of the things that we say is that we teach you principles. We don't just teach you methodologies, so that you'll be able to break it and personalize it. That's where we're going. You can't come and just say, because of the things happening around today, you cannot just come and say, hey, I read it on social media where coach said that she did this, she did. If you see it, you might actually fail. Even though I'm correct. The problem will be that you might not have been able to understand its application. That's why there's so much knowledge, yet so much confusion. So much. So, parenting style. Parenting is now moving from one size fit it all strategies to more dynamic and adaptive methods. But the problem is, you really know that dynamic. So if you're still stuck in they did it to us, we didn't die. Our parents raised us, beat us, we didn't die. What are you saying? We turned out okay. You'll be lost. So lost. So lost on this journey that you would be asking yourself, isn't it just what it is? I'm great say AI prompts with Grandpa Jack GTP. This is so key. The next one is that going to be evolving role of parents. Your role as parents is going to change in 2025. If you don't change with it, you lose your family. So you're going to be a coach, not just a caregiver. Not just a caregiver. So one of the things that we do in the inner circle is to give you the wings to coach, not just be a parent. Not just be a parent. So as the tools take over routine caregiving tasks, you want to focus on wisdom. Because that thing you think that you're doing it's not all that, really. Trust me. AI will reduce, it's coming, we're not even there yet. AI will reduce your function to naught. If you do not take your time to actually begin to evolve into coaching instead of caregiving. Because caregiving is going to become so mundane. And anything can do it. Not anybody. Anything can do it. And might even do it better. That's the scary part. It's just like what we're seeing with, AI and being able to, do there's all of these robots and AI systems that are being created to be able to do operations. And they will do it more precise than a human being can ever do. More precise than a human being can ever do. It means that I would rather have an AI do a more precise, surgery on me than a human being who can begin to make mistakes. So if you do not understand the changing rule in parenting, it's going to change to the point that caregiving will become so mundane for you to be something you are concentrated on. You will now begin to see that you, with your knowledge bank, your wisdom, if your role doesn't change, you become overwhelmed. That's it. If your role does not change in 2025, you'll become overwhelmed. Because you'll be doing mundane things and you become a nothing in quote in your parenting system. You lose your parenting system, literally. So because the tools are going to take over routine caregiving tasks, you need to now focus on guiding your children to thinking critically, emotional intelligence, and ethical decision making. That's your job. That's why learning parenting today it's a no-brainer. It's not. I remember, a few years ago, I used to say, if you're not in the parenting academy, you are gone. It hasn't. It's not truer than today. You're not in the parenting academy, you will stop. It will be right in your face. So, parents will have to prioritize teaching children how to think. That will be your priority. The priority will be on how to think. Your priority will be on your children, focusing on preparing your children for uncertainties than shielding them from challenges. There's going to be a broader definition of family and community support. We have already defined it. You see that concept of it takes a village? It will expand as technology allows families to connect around the globe for advice, for mentorship, for collaboration. there's going to be a benefit of diverse perspective. Now, pause. The problem is not the diverse perspective. The problem will be this diverse perspective that we are talking about. Are you going to be in a system that actually gives you access to the right kind of perspective? So it is one thing to actually have this, insight. It's another thing to actually be in the right kind of space. You might know it, but you're in the wrong space. I've seen that happen again and again. So you want to begin to ask yourself, am I surrounded by the right things, the right communities? Because they're going to be broader definitions where you're going to redefine community is the future. You need to make sure you are building and curating with the right ones. You are creating with it. So it's not just I'm in a community. All of us are in a community. The question will be, what is the essence of that community that you have? What is that community you already have now? What is that community doing for you? That's a key question. So the concept of it takes a village will expand. There's going to be more shared, and there's going to be more social challenges. Because right now, there is a more, system of overexposure to idealized parenting models, which, of course, right now is leading to an unrealistic expectation. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. There's this unrealistic expectation that, is available just out there. So somebody once met me and said, Coach, the way you share about how things haven't gone well, how you have failed and all of that. This morning, our daughter said something to me. She said, Mommy, you overreacted on this. And I said, you will be all right. Very all right. So there's this ideal. So people think that when we talk about intentional parenting, we're talking about perfection. We're talking about, that, everything has to be spotless. We're supposed to just have, so failure should never happen. And that's why when people fail, they panic. Yeah. Because there's this idealized system. That's why community support becomes a huge aspect. One of the reasons. And there's going to be an emphasis on lifelong learning, because without learning, you're going to actually make a mess of your parenting. You need to increasingly view yourself as students alongside your child. In 2025, that's one of the things that will take front seat. Adapting to new challenges, new tools. If you don't, you have a problem. If you are not in a space where you are continually learning, parental growth, I call it, more resources for self-education, more resources for parenting skills development. I don't think anything stretches you and gets you to a point where you learn like parenting. Truth is, parenting changes you. And you've heard me say that if your parenting is not changing to you, you are not parenting well. That's truth. You're not. That's how I am. That's how I've been. This parenting you are, this parent you become, doesn't change you. There is something wrong with your parenting. And there's going to be the system of child empowerment. So parents are going to be more involved and more responsible for the empowerment of their children. And if it's not there, do your child a disservice. You become a disadvantage to your child. One of my books, The Parenting Advantage, I'm trying to see whether it is in my... All right, sorry about that. The Parenting Advantage. I was trying to see whether it was in my this thing. So yeah, when I was writing this book last year, I began to realize that for us to actually be able to, get what it is that the 2025 is going to deliver on to us, we need to learn how to become an advantage intentionally. So parenting in 2025 will demand adaptability. It will demand critical thinking. It will demand openness to change. It's not this one of I know what I'm doing. I know who I am. I've been there. I've done it before. I get that before. No be property. That's what 2024 is going. 2025 is going to show you on your parenting. It will stretch you. So while the tools and the technology will offer you, in quotes, support, they will challenge you. They will challenge your methods. They will challenge your roles. The power of a community will act as a counterbalance. That's one of the things that's going to help you remind you the importance of human connection, the importance of empathy, the importance of shared purpose, the importance of the next generation. So the future of parenting is not going to be about raising children. It's going to be about raising families, getting them equipped to thrive in an interconnected, rapidly evolving world. Let me say that again. The future of parenting is not just about raising children. It will be about raising families equipped to thrive in an interconnected, rapidly evolving world. That's what the future of parenting is going to be. So I'm here trying to do future prediction for you. That's what I'm trying to do. So that you get into 2025 prepared. You know, we talked about the parenting goal guide last week, where we actually, talked about the goal guide that we shared with parents in the inner circle. The truth is, inner circle parents are super blessed. So they have access to this thing to be able to actually create their tools and all of that. So we decided for the people who couldn't make it into the inner circle because registration for 2025 is over, we are going to share support tools that will help you begin to gain support while you register for Inner Circle 2026. Registration is already open. It's 120,000 per year. You can start now and start building a system to get into a community, curated, structured community. It's not I'm inside one Facebook group where they are talking parenting. I've been in I've been in Facebook communities. Oh, by the way, I have led communities in Nigeria, the whole Facebook communities in Nigeria. I have led them for Abuja chapter. So I have a very great insight, right? When it comes to communities on Facebook, I'm a community expert. And when it comes to parenting community, I do it damn well. There is no two ways about it. I've been awarded severally for it. We've been awarded one of the most globally reputable communities, the whole of Facebook globally, the Intentional Parents Academy, our Facebook community. And I tell you something, that Facebook community doesn't give you the curated, structured system that gets you to the point of where we are talking about. Yet, it's still the best at what it is that is out there. And this is not even us bragging. It's proven. We can go and look at the track record of Facebook on parenting communities. We are at the top of the top. And I see quite a number of people who are in, all sorts of parenting communities and all of this. We're in community. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we are talking about. It's bigger than that. Trust me when I say so. So you need to tell yourself, understand that the future of parenting is community. And when I'm talking about community, I'm talking about curated, intentionally structured communities that's going to give you access to the things that you didn't even know you needed. That I know. You get into a community, you get access. See, information is not knowledge. You can be informed and yet be crippled. I've seen it severally. You can be informed. I've seen a lot of people who are so informed, yet crippled with no result. You can be informed and be confused. So having access to information is not the conversation here. I am talking about having access to the kind of system that delivers to you what will help you position you as a coach to your children, not a caregiver. Because if you are just a mere caregiver Forgive me, but you're a nobody to your children in 2025. You are just somebody who just, you like taking care, you take care of them, you make their hair. Those are mundane things. You cook their food, you clean the house. That's not what that's not what parenting in 2025 will demand from you. That's not what we do. It will demand, it will tear you open. The demand is not the demand of mundane things, sweep house. That's very small things. That's not the demand. So if that is not beat a child because a child lied, that's not the demand. I dare say that the demand in 2025 for parents is not going to be on, you did not say, you told a lie, kneel down, let me flog you, 1, 2, 3. That is not the demand. The demand is coaching. It takes skills, tools for you to be able to deliver on that. That's what it takes. So if you didn't get, into the inner circle for 2025, I beg you, get the parenting goal guide. It's $499. Get it. Sit down. The link is in our Stella page. If you're not in Nigeria or you're not in Nigeria, you can get a link on our Stella page. The link is also right on the description of this video. Get it. Sit with it. Curate your plan, and ensure that every system of community created. All our courses have communities created for them. There's a reason for that. Because the future of learning in parenting is community. We've already known it. We've known it for a very long time. We have used it before people can see it. We've used it before people even know what it is that we're talking about. So get in there so that you can get into, access our first community, which is the emotional intelligence class. Get into that class. Sit down there and start reviewing your journey one day at a time. And ensure that you're registered for 2020. 2020 is going to be hot, full. We already know. And this is not, an advert of, you just need to join the yard. The thing is so full that we can't take people. That's it. It's not us trying to brag. We have filled in cohort A to Z. We're, even if we are open for taking people, we won't be able to. We have maxed our capacity for 2025. We've maxed it. So the demand for parenting is actually you being positioned. And coaching requires wisdom. Coaching is not just talking. It's not just come and blab. It requires a lot of wisdom. The demand is stretchy. It will stretch you out of your comfort zone. The demand is bigger than just, cook food, flog a child when the child lies, do your parenting, shout. We're not even talking about that anymore. You don't yelling. The demands in parenting is bigger right now. All right. So they're going to be different emerging tools. And number one, top of my list of the emerging tools that we're actually talking about will be artificial intelligence integration. Of course, we already, know that. We already know that. AI technologies are increasingly, being incorporated into the educational system, household divides, offering, experiences, assistance, daily, AI-driven platform for school, for courses, for grades, name it. There's going to even be more sophisticated parental control applications. And your children will also be able to beat all of these applications, for the record. For the record. So there's going to be advanced app that's going to enable you to monitor, to manage, but there's also going to be advanced hacking by your children. They will maneuver it. They will maneuver it. There's also going to be a lot of, eco-friendly products. I was reading up on this and I was, seeing how the eco-friendly product, reusable diapers, sustainable toys, that we aim to instill some environmental consciousness in your children. Have you thought of the effect of that in parenting? I know you are not thinking it. That's why I'm the coach, yeah? I'm able to think it, and I'm able to actually share with you. Part of what we're doing to be teaching inner circle parents in 2025 is the effect, the ethical, dilemmas on AI systems and the effect, right? Of course, there's going to be virtual and augmented reality. Now, there's going to be, there is virtual reality, there's the augmented reality. Platforms like, you now have a Kulus education, virtual field trip. It's already here. But there's also going to be AR, that's augmented reality tools that are being used to actually begin to help children with ADHD, autism, and all of that. So behavioral therapy. But these are the concerns. Have we sat down to look at the attending issues of the behavioral, therapy that is going to be offered online? Mm. There's also going to be wearable technology for children, GPS tracker, health monitoring. What are the effects? I'm just listening it for you. There's going to be AI powered parenting assistance, custom parenting inside, smart devices. All right. You have platforms like Bright Horizon that use AI to analyze your child's activities, and begin to actually tell you these are the tailored development activities and all of that. What are the attending issues? These are the questions. Then there's also going to be a lot of digital scheduling, management of tools, and all of that. There's going to be a lot of gamification of chores and responsibility. Apps like Chore Master, Honeyton, household into games, rewarding children for completing tasks. Have we thought what will be the effect of those rewards in the real world eventually for our children? All right. Then there's going to be telehealth, online therapy. That is going to be something that we need to, to deal with a lot. There's going to be digital storytelling and reading platform, interactive reading apps, tools like Epic, Vox provide animated story that encourage reading and all of that. Custom story creation, apps like Storybird let you create your own digital story. Beautiful tools. What are the issues? It's going to be social emotional learning apps. When you learn platforms like Pick a Book, combine stories and games to actually teach empathy. At what detriment? At what detriment? Language learning tools, AI tutors, advanced collaboration tools for co-parenting, voice activated learning and play, online parenting, systems and all of that. Now, I've said that one of the new challenges, tell me how you try to cope with AI parenting when you don't have a coach. One of the new challenges that you're going to see in this year is parenting shaming and judgment. It's going to increase. There's going to be a rise in social media that will amplify more parenting shaming, that will lead to more stress, lead to more anxiety among parents striving to meet societal expectation, because you're constantly going to have your issues out there. Unfortunately, you are putting it in an uncurated community. Now, what happens in a place like the inner circle is that you have a system where when you actually get to that point, you put it there, you have a people working towards the same goal and value. Now, parenting community is the future. The question will be, will the value of the community be able to actually give you what it is that you're looking for? This is actually very important. So parenting shaming and judgment will be a big deal. To be a big deal. So this phenomena underscores the need for supportive communities, open dialogues when it comes to parenting, issues. There's going to be more mental health awareness. There will be more suicide. Yeah, there will be more suicide going forward. There's going to be increased need to address children's mental health, focus on resilience, coping mechanism, navigate complexities, and all of that. I have a new inner circle parent whose child, we were going to start the inner circle on the first, and she said somebody had recommended me for her, and she got in waiting. And while on the waiting list on the 28th of November, just a few days before the inner circle started, her son committed suicide. She didn't say it coming. She didn't know it. She didn't know it. There's going to be more exposure to that. If you're not in the place where you can actually give this kind of support, it's going to be a problem. There's going to be, a lot of inability to cope. So educating children about mental health, being there, being able to actually do some kind of supportive parenting becomes more important than that money you're chasing. More important than the money you're chasing. So from a very young age, people ask me in the inner circle, they say, coach, my child is just one. Should we start? Start. Hey, from a very young age, you need to help them to begin to manage personal and social challenges. You need to begin to say, I've seen so much in 21 days. We've just been in the inner circle for 24 days. I've seen so much that I'm wondering, okay, the predictions are real. 2025 is going to be tough, stretchy. Now, despite the technology advantage, right, modern parenting benefits significantly from community support. Again, not just any kind of community. We're talking about a community support that talks about shared experiences, resources, emotional backing, where we're going to engage curated parenting systems that provide practical assistance. This is very important. And of course, as we go in the yard, I'm sure yarders will get it, who have been in the yard. We get what when we say you are going to actually have to do a whole lot of curated kind of collaboration, intentionally building it. Intentionally building it. This is very important. Very, very important. I was sharing the other day on five minutes brief with Coach Wendy every Friday. That was last Friday. And I was talking about how AI can affect your parenting in 2025. Time will fail me to be able to go through all of that. You might want to go and look for that video on our YouTube channel and actually, get it working with it. Right? Of course, we have a lot of, a lot of all of those things that is going to happen. A lot of us have been trying to teach. Somebody said, oh, there's a lot of gamified app. Your children will just learn responsibility. And I ask, teaching responsibility to gamified apps, is this the future of parenting, or is it a shortcut to raising entitled children? It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut. A shortcut. So we prefer the shortcut than to sit down and actually look at the things that is going on and deal with it. There's so much going on. There's so much that's going to go on. There's so much that's going to happen. And this is a key aspect. One of the things that I said, one of the things that you need to do going forward, right, is you need to educate yourself about AI. Like I said, this is something that we're going to be focused on in the yard come 2025 because it's a challenge. So what we do every year. So when people say it was during our end of year party, Barrister Tawakin Lami said, how do you outgrow a community? You are in a community, you outgrow. You say, oh, I've learned everything, I've gone. How? What we do every year is that we look at the challenges that the year is going to bring. And then we start to break it down from the beginning. So when the challenges are coming, the parents in the inner circle don't get overwhelmed with the challenges. So it looks like a walk in the park. So it looks easy. It looks easy. It looks easy. But it's really not. Just because you already have a prediction, you already have someone who is going ahead. The truth is, there are people who are, light bearers, who is giving to see the future in different areas of life, right? In parenting, I stand with all sense of humility to tell you that when it comes to future predictions in parenting, I know what I'm saying. A lot of these things are going to happen right in our eyes. Again, the screen addiction and screen autism that we're having today, I started screaming about it 6-7 years ago. Somebody said, I heard where they were saying that in Australia, children should not be on social media by age 16. They said, Coach, I've been saying this thing. I smiled. It's going to be a whole lot. Right? You need to stay updated on the latest advancement and potential risk. Potential risk of AI technology related to your children and families. How do you even stay updated? You're already overwhelmed with work. You're overwhelmed with everything. It's overwhelming you. You don't have a curated knowledge place where you can actually get in. The difference in a curated, right? The difference in a curated system is that it offers you tools to deal with challenges when they come. Are we all going to face the 2025 parenting challenges? All of us are. But you know the truth. I tell you with all sense of humility, all of us are not going to struggle. No, not all of us will struggle. Those of us who understand, who are in a system where these things have been created, will know what to do when the challenges come. When the challenges come, yes. But the differentiating factor will be what I know that you don't know. That's the truth. That's the truth. One of the things that you want to do is also teach and set boundaries with AI use for yourself. Use it as AI must be used as a supportive tool, not a substitute for parenting decisions. I see a lot of us who go, somebody said, oh, once I want something, I just type on WhatsApp AI for my parenting decision. I had a good laugh. Forgive me. Avoid over relying on apps and devices to monitor, to discipline, to parent. Set boundaries. Set boundaries both for yourself and for your children. Prioritize privacy and security. Of course, there has to be a lot of, security. There's going to be a lot of security breaches in the coming years. Teach your children critical thinking. Discuss how AI works, including its potential for bias and misinformation. Some of us do not even know that AI has misinformation to give. So it's just like the AI that said it, you just copy, boom, and then you just run. Because you have lost the ability to actually be able to look at things critically. Am I saying AI is wrong? No. I'm just saying that you must be conscious of the attending issues that it brings. Another thing is that you need to integrate AI responsibly. AI, it's supposed to be a complement. It's a support tool. Just like educational apps is a support learning, tool, you must avoid outsourcing emotional and relational responsibilities. Comforting your child with AI. Entertaining your child with AI. With entertain your child, you just say, what is it, Siri, or is it Alexa? Please just help me turn on a baby boom do and all of that. And then the thing is thinking, and here you're on one corner. Another thing you want to do is that you want to focus on future ready skills. Yeah. There are skills called future ready. There are skills that you have now that are not future ready. They are not useful. I'm going to teach about that in the yard. Sorry. Time is not going to permit me to actually do it. And of course, use AI to support development, not to become that process. Embrace ethical AI parenting. Model ethical behavior by using AI responsibly, teaching your children how to be accountable with interacting with technology. The ethical implications of AI, privacy concerns, societal impact. So install a sense of responsibility. This is very key. Install a sense of responsibility. So begin to advocate for responsibility using of AI. I started advocating for responsible using of screen. It paid off because trust me, my children are a big beneficiary of it. It paid off. It paid off. So when you take these steps, you actually see, all right, you actually see that these are the aspect. Yeah, there are future ready skills. Future ready skills. There are some skills that are not future ready. You're learning them, they're not going to do anything. And most of us are teaching our children future ready skills. Our children are learning these skills, they're learning everything, you're pushing. That's why I said information is everywhere, wisdom is not. You are still stuck in teaching modern things. Come down from that horse so that you don't end up actually just making a mess. All right? If you need AI to tell you how to parent, that means your instinct. Are you still connected to your instinct, or you're just another user of tech? Because your instinct, You've lost everything. You've lost the proper wisdom. You just want to AI your way out. AI your way out. Now, I've realized something about community. I say that there's a lot of communities, and I say in the world of endless parenting community, why do we have so many parents still feel so alone? Why? These communities are not curated to deliver on what it is that they should deliver. Parents today are more educated than ever. They are more educated than our parents. Yet they rely on AI for answers on basic parenting questions. Why? Because we don't want to do anything. We want everything to just fly on us. So this is very important. I just want to leave you in thoughts of this conversation today, where you actually think, all right? We actually think about the things that you begin to actually redo. I said earlier that parenting was about, before now, parenting was about teaching your children life skills. In 2025, it's going to be about teaching them future ready skills. One of future ready skills is the ability to unlearn the noise of the internet. Is a future ready skill. Hey, is a future ready skill. Are you teaching your children future ready skills? This is where I quit and I call it an end. All right, we have books that you can get. I have lots and lots of books. Okay, most of them are right here on the shelf. Okay, you can get our books. This is Raising the Independent Thinking Child, The Parenting Advantage. I have Raising the Girl with Sense, and all of the numerous books that I've written, 18 of them, right? Raising the Girl with Sense, Raising the Boy You Don't Need to Bail Out. These are my favorite books, yeah? Trophy, Raising the Trophy Child, Raising the Emotionally Skilled Child, The Parenting Advantage, and Raising the Independent Thinking Child. So we have, in the series of the Raising series, we currently have 5 books in that series. So we're going to have more Raising series, yes? Raising the Boy You Don't Need to Bail Out, Raising the Girl with Sense, Raising the Trophy Child, Raising the Emotionally Skilled Child, and Raising the Independent Thinking Child. These are just 5. We have 14 others, all right, like The Parenting Advantage and the rest of them. Please get copies of of these books. Read, oh, read, read. In 2025, it's going to be a marathon. Most of us are going to be running a race that we haven't even seen. As in, we're going to be running. The problem is that there's going to be a marathon, and most of us will be running this way, but we don't know where we're running. We don't know where we're running. Get into the Intentional Parents Academy. Get your parenting goal guide. If you are not able to get into the inner circle, if you are able to get into the inner circle, you have access to this free already. Yes, we call it the Yada advantage. It's a thing. Being a Yada is a thing. It's a big deal. All right. And we make it a big deal. Okay. So if if you're not able to get in, don't worry. We will create systems that will help you through the process of being able to actually walk through your journey with us until you are able to get in 2026. If you are not in the Intentional Parent Academy Inner Circle program for 2026, now you do yourself, because you started hearing me from December 2025. So better book now, right? Part of the things that you need is that one of the things that we do in the Inner Circle is that we have called A to Z. Yes, classes A to Z. So we are managing 26 classes. So it's not like we're looking for people, right? We are managing 26 classes, but you know the truth. This is the truth. The future is community. That's the truth. The future of parenting is community. Curated, well-structured, intentional community. That's the future. That's the future. So whether you are in the inner circle or you are not, it's the future. The truth is not going to change, right? And you can't get in, at some point and say, this community, I'm no longer part of it. I've outgrown it. You don't outgrow a community. You don't outgrow a community. So again, we're going to be talking about AI, parenting, navigating your way through parenting with AI. And then I will also be teaching parents in the inner circle future ready skills. One of the things that we will also be able to do is that we're going to offer these things as specific tools to you eventually when we create them. All right. So be ready to pay to buy them. Right. You will spend your money on personal development too. If not, all of these things that you think that you can learn, all of that will just be blah blah dash, right? So ensure that you get your parenting kicking. Ensure that you get your parenting moving. Ensure that you get going, because in 2025 it's not going to be business as usual. No, it will not. It will not. Thank you so much. Alero said joining TIP Academy is part of your future ready plans. Yes. Future ready plan, future ready skills. Thank you very much for joining me today. It is going to be, it's already an honor to be, with you. And tomorrow is Christmas. I cannot wait to actually be here with you, all right, in January. From tomorrow down to where it is that we're going, we are no longer going to be having um we're no longer going to be having any class until January. We see you in January. By January, I think 6th or so, we are going to resume and we will see you right in the office. Our office is closed for the new year. All right. If you haven't gotten this tool, creating parenting goals, please get it now. It's 4999. You can choose a link and get a copy and begin to walk through. This is comprehensive. It comes with like 3 different tools. It's comprehensive for you to actually be able to work on the things that you need to work. And of course, if you are also the 12 in 1 Christmas bundle. I don't know if you've gotten that 12 in 1 Christmas bundle also. If you haven't, you want to get your copy. The 12 in 1 Christmas bundle is also 4999, right? There is 12 different planners that you can use. We've always preached that Christmas is not a time where you are, doing hair, fighting in the market, doing Christmas clothes. That's not the time. Christmas is actually the time where you have fun with your family. Look at my hair now. My hair is the way it is. It's not, I'm not interested in, do I like my hair made? Yes. But I would rather not go through the hassle in this time, because honestly speaking, it's too much of a hassle in this time. So I would rather enjoy my time instead of just going and sitting down. Is it that if I don't make the hair now, anything is going to happen? Nah. So get the amazing Christmas bundle. Save yourself all of the stress. Trust me when I say these are all the things that you get from the amazing Christmas bundle. All right. Trust me when I say that this is going to be one of the things that you get. If you're not in the academy, that you want to get this, sit down and plan it. For the people in the inner circle, we already moved. We planned our Christmas even before you can even imagine that this plan has been made. Thank you so much for joining me again today. It is an honor to have you. Somebody said Basbos calmly delivered. And yes, please do not go and rest in your oars as you are just going to go and eat Christmas rice. Be thinking about the ethical dilemma of AI in 2024. In 2025 in parenting is going to be a whole lot. Yes. So for those who also didn't get into the inner circle, we've already talked about the parenting goals plan. It will save your life, literally. It will save your life. So instead of just running helter skelter, running kitty kitty, please get in here. Trust me, when it comes to building communities, I am the best at what it is that happens in community building. I've been recognized globally for community building. One of the things you want to do is to get into the inner circle. Pay now. 120K is the fee for 1 year. Book your slot with 10,000 naira. Start paying small, small. It's not when it is now December next year. Hey, can you help me? Let me just get in. No, you will not get in by like that. Oh. So this is a very key, note for you. And get books. Buy books. All these cannot. Buy books and read. This is your time. This is your cue. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an honor to having you here, and I do not take it for granted. See you in January. See you in 2025. But please, hey, note and then join our email community. That's our general email community. Of course, the wisdom notes for Yadas is specifically for Yadas. It's not for anyone else. But you can join our email community. It's actually filled with so much knowledge. Every day we've been sending out mails every day for you to actually be able to getting something, getting so much. So if you're waiting for the yard, that's a good community. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. There's so much that you can begin to pick out as you're waiting to get into the community. See you in 2025. But don't forget, it's just a change of a day. It's just a change of a number. Nothing changes until you do the work for something to change. Have an amazing Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Starting this program with you has been such A joy.
Been married 21 days since we began this journey together, but we are already so inspired by your dedication.
As we continue with this journey in the new year, know that we are still here to serve you because it is such an honor to be a part of this journey with you.
Thank you for choosing the Intentional Parents Academy. We are truly excited for all we will achieve together.
Merry Christmas to you and your families.
May this Christmas season bring warmth and peace to your home.
May this Christmas be a time of love and togetherness for you and your families.
May this season be filled with happiness, laughter, and connection.
And may the new year bring even more breakthrough and blessings.
From the TIP Bishop.
From the TIP Fashionista.
From the TIP Igbo Girl.
From the TIP Fine Girl.
From the TIP Police.